everyone, and welcome to another webisode of my story. So, the part of my story that I was at was my daughter's kindergarten year, and it was a tough year, I think, for everyone. I think it was tough for her because moving, she had so many friends at that first school, and then moving, and then she was like bullied for the rest of the year, and I don't know why, but oh, I should have known. The school that I ended up putting her in, my dad's school district, it's a bully zone. It really is. They constantly announce how they're anti-bullying, but they constantly bully and back bullies. So, whatever. But yeah, that year, it's a hard year for me, and I don't think that y'all are not even grasping how bad it was. I was really, really bad. We were living in filth. We were living in disgust, and it didn't matter. I mean, I even had money at the time, and that didn't even matter. We were still just living in filth and disgust, and I was living a party lifestyle, and I wasn't the best mother that I could be, but I was better than their pedophile father. Excuse me. This is a false story. It's a fiction story. Let's keep that in mind. But, yeah, and he never reached out to talk to me at all. Nothing. And my husband was, he was at war, and I would talk to him, like at 4 o'clock in the morning, odd times I would talk to him, and usually for like 10, 20 minutes at a time. That's all that I would get. But, it was what it was, and my husband was coming home from the war, but I still had to finish the school year with my daughter, and, yeah, he was going to be getting out of the Army, and before he got out, he wanted to make sure that he got a vasectomy, because he's like, my wife is highly fertile, and we don't need no more kids, and I disagreed. I could have a dozen kids. I love kids so much. But yeah, so when my husband was home, he wasn't at war anymore. I told him, this is the time that I will lose my mind. If before you could talk to me, for 20 minutes at a time and it was no big deal. I mean, you were at war, But if now you don't try to talk to me often and you don't reach out, I'm just going to lose my mind. I'm probably going to think that you're cheating on me. I'm very honest. I have this jealousy monster. Oh, and whenever I was editing the videos, I realized that I was telling y'all advice, and I never did get to the advice, but the advice is, if you come from a toxic relationship and you find yourself in a not toxic relationship, try not to bring the preconceived, you're gonna bring some preconceived notions from the toxic relationship and project them onto the not toxic person. So you have to look out for that. It's a very delicate dance. I had a therapist for years to help me work out these dances, and I've worked with many workshops and such. So yeah, our preconceived notions. Just try to be aware of your preconceived notions when you've healed from a toxic relationship and you're trying to go into a more healed relationship. But, I've always been a very self-aware person. I'm very, very self-aware, and I choose to be self-aware. I focus so much on myself, and I'm very self-critical, very, very self-critical. So even back then, I knew that, hey, I'm going to be really jealous, and I tried to let him know why, da-da-da-da-da. Well, he just, it's like he didn't care. It drove me crazy, and there was this one time where I was just like, I'm gonna catch this boy doing something, I don't know what, and I just loaded up my kids in my van, and I took off, and I drove across the country, and we had a little Chihuahua dog and everything, and, I just got a wild hair up my butt, and took off, and was going to see him and catch him, doing something. I don't know what I was gonna thought I was going to catch him doing. But we're going across, and we're like across Oklahoma in the plains, and my van just completely breaks down. Now, you guys, because my husband's a stickler, not because of me, my husband has taught me this, but I haven't always been like this. But he always wants insurance, he wants AAA, he wants, the extra insurance, all that stuff. He always wants all that stuff. And because of that, I had AAA and I had insurance, and they were able to get me a hotel room. And whenever the guy came with the towing truck, he's like, "What are you out here doing? Are you going to, like, driving across the country right now?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Even with the tornadoes coming?" He's like, "Did nobody tell you tornadoes were coming?" I was like, "No, nobody told me tornadoes were coming." And, like, then we go to the hotel, and they were like, "You're driving now with the tornadoes?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I guess in their state, it's like a normal thing. Everybody knows when the tornadoes are going to come or something. I mean, in my state, we have tornadoes too. And there are days like that where, everybody watch out, tonight's going to be tornadoes, more than likely. So everybody prepare. And I wasn't preparing. I was driving across the country. And we stayed the night in a hotel, and my youngest daughter, she microwaved some soda and, like, got it on her face, and I was, like, all worried about that, but it all worked out fine. And it was just, crazy stuff. And I was I was washing everybody up, and I had her washed up, and I was washing the next one, gonna wash the next one, and then, like, she microwaved soda and pours it on herself. Oh my goodness. This poor baby. I was so scared, but it worked out. Everything was fine. She didn't have no burns on her or nothing. So, but the crazy things that can happen, y'all. Crazy things can happen. And we had this little chihuahua up in this hotel room with us. Yeah, we had ordered a pizza, and everybody was just commenting on the tornadoes coming. And then the next morning, it was time for checkout, so I gathered everybody up, and my van was fixed up, actually. It was all fixed up. The people were able to work on it, and it was really cool. We took a taxi to the shop, and I got the van, and yeah, we head back on the road. And you guys, I did not get very far up the road. It was just a couple more miles up the road, and the tornado damage. It was crazy. And it went into the next state. And there was tornado damage. And come to find out, over the night, this state had one big tornado, and then the next state had 2 tornadoes. And there is no doubt in my mind that we would have got caught up in those tornadoes. The location of where they were, and then finding out the time that they went by. You guys, we would have got caught up in those tornadoes. I had no earthly idea that they were coming, and it was crazy driving through the tornado destruction the next day, just seeing it. I mean, driving through fields too sometimes. Yeah, it was crazy. I know that one of them we would have ended up getting caught up in. Maybe not that first one right up there, but we would have ended up catching the next state over, because, hours pass, and then, the tornadoes are going through, and we wouldn't have seen them. I wouldn't have known. It's crazy. And I just, I thank God that the angels are watching over me. And we got to the state where my husband was at, and I spied on him for a little while. I couldn't spy on him for very long. I had to run up and get him, but he wasn't doing nothing. Playing video games, watching Netflix, just being boring. But, I didn't fully trust him, because it's not that I didn't trust him, it's that I didn't trust anyone. I didn't really trust myself to even be able to trust him. And it's just that, I would lose my mind if he wasn't calling me, like, all hours of the day. I had to go back home. I couldn't let my kid be out of school forever, you know. I had to go, you know. Oh, goodness. So, yeah. There was a time where my husband called me and asked me if he could go to a wedding, and I didn't mind if he went to the wedding. For me, it was about, will he show me now that he has self-restraint for me? He either does have self-restraint for me or he doesn't. If I asked him to go to a wedding and he said no, I would respect his wishes. I'm a very good for the goose, good for the gander type of gal. And so I wanted to test him with it, and I said no, and he said, too bad, I'm going anyway. And that really, really frustrated me. And from there, I started losing my mind. And I had a nervous breakdown. And things got pretty crazy. But that'll be where we pick up next time. My nervous breakdown and the craziness and where that leads to. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching today. Just a little bit more of my story. I'm so glad that you guys are here. I hope that you are all loved and blessed. And as always, be blessed with love. That's all. Wait a minute. No, that's not all she got. She got a little bit to say just here at the end, so hold on, folks. I just want to say really, really quick, I've got an exciting opportunity to share with you. As a student and a content creator, I pour my heart and my soul into each and every video, and I absolutely love bringing you all along on my crazy adventures. But you know, creating quality content requires a lot of time, effort, and resources. But that's where you can come in. If you enjoy my videos and want to share your support, I've set up a few ways for you to contribute and become an even more integral part of the Mystic Hillbilly community. Your support means the world to me, and it helps me to continue doing what I love most. First of all, I have a few donation options available to you. If you'd like to make a one-time contribution, you can find the links to my Cashapp, Venmo, and PayPal in the video descriptions. And every single donation, no matter how big or small, truly makes a difference and allows me to create even more exciting content for you all. But wait, there's more. I'm thrilled to introduce to you my Patreon membership, where for only $5.55 a month, you can gain access to exclusive behind-the-scenes content and outtakes from all my videos. As a Patreon supporter, you'll get to see all the edits and behind-the-scenes bloopers that didn't make it in the final cut. It's like having a VIP pass to the Mystic Hillbilly editing room. This is really something special for all my haters out there. As a member, you'll gain access to hours of footage of me making mistakes, doing everything wrong, and just having an all-around hilarious time. So, haters, if you ever want to see me in my most human, this is your golden opportunity. So, whether you choose to become a member or make a donation, know that your support is deeply appreciated. I genuinely thank each and every one of you for being a part of this amazing journey with me. Your positive energy and contributions mean everything to me. Before I go, I just want to take a moment to say that I pray that every blessing sent my way is multiplied and returned to the sender tenfold. May success find their way into your lives as you've brought them into mine. Thank you all so much for your support, and until next time, stay adventurous, stay curious, and always remember to keep the mystic in you alive. And now, that's all she got.